Hello everyone, this is DSZ Streaming. After finishing my stream last week of Bloodborne, I noticed with my recorded video my mic volume was pretty low due to applying noise filters to reduce any background noise. So for this video, I am doing a voiceover to discuss what happened during my playthrough for part 3. Sorry for this inconvenience, but I do hope you enjoy the video and its content. And without further ado, let's begin Bloodborne playthrough part 3 of DS-Z. Last video, after I defeated the Bloodstarved Beast, the small door in Cathedral ward opened because of my victory against the Bloodstarved Beast. Beyond the door is a small tower that has upper and lower floors to explore and collect items, such as the Communion Room and twin Bloodstone shards from the Little Madness monster. Currently, I am demonstrating how the wheelchair gunman is following its code of shooting in front of my character. By going around him in a circle or moving side to side, the Gatling man will not shoot until I stay still and begins to shoot away. Thankfully, I am behind him and go for a charged heavy attack, which proceeds to kill him, and then I grab some quicksilver bullets to further increase my bullet stash. I proceed towards the treasure chest to open it and find a communion rune, which increased my blood vial by 1, giving me 21 blood vials. Again, Bloodborne has a mind of its own, but gestures. Going around the backside of the tower, I locate the little menace and start attacking it to retrieve the twin Bloodstone shards. Honestly, I found it funny that I killed the little menace with my fall damage instead of my small spear. After I grabbed the twin Bloodstone shards, I ran around to the left side of the tower to see a door leading me to a terrifying platforming obstacle. During this segment of my livestream, I was trying to show and tell people on how to get to the mysterious door down below. My plan was to back up as far as the wooden bridge could go, heal myself so that when I jump onto the smaller platform, I would not die from the fall, and then afterwards I could simply step forward onto the floor with the mysterious door safely. Sadly, my plan falls apart as I face planted onto the bottom floor and died. Tragically. Before heading back down to the mysterious door, I decided to ascend the tower to gain more XP and to acquire a few more items to help increase my chances of survival later on in Bloodborne. The first item I got was a Blood Tinge Gemstone, which can increase any gun or weapon's damage based on a Blood Tinge stat. Heading upstairs, I encountered another Gatling gun wheelchair man, and I go behind him and kill him with a heavy charged up attack. Outside on the second floor, there are 2 gunmen and a troll, which I end up killing all 3 with somewhat quick ease and manage not to fall off from the tower. Then I climbed up the ladders to the 3rd floor and killed 2 flamethrower wheelchair men and a Yarmanite. I opened up the chest to find a Radiant Sword Hunter badge, which increases the amount of items sold at the Bath Messenger shop, and I went to open up the door beyond the treasure chest, only to discover the door is locked, and proceeded to head downstairs to reattempt to jump down to the mysterious door.
You lose!
Before my second failed attempt of falling down to the mysterious door, I go to the elevator by the Cathedral ward to acquire the formless Odin Rune. To get the Odin Rune, first go onto the elevator, then before the elevator stops, roll out towards the open window, either going up or down. Second, head towards the right and continue moving forward to drop down from the rooftop. Lastly, go to the left where a treasure chest is waiting out in the open and you will find the Odin Rune. Also, further towards the left is another Bath Messenger hat called the Messenger Urn Festival. They get to wear urns as hats. On my third attempt of getting to the mysterious door, I followed the advice of a fellow player's note of stepping forward, and to my surprise, it worked. I landed onto the smaller platform, recovered some health, and gave an appraisal to another player's note of encouragement. Like the old saying goes, third time is the charm. And with that charm, I opened up the mysterious door to find some set of stairs going downwards. Once I entered into the next area, I stumbled upon to the abandoned old workshop, where the first original hunter's base of operations was located close to the Cathedral ward. Exploring around the abandoned old workshop, there are several items to pick up, such as the old hunter bone, which can increase the slide dodge animation by spending 4 quicksilver bullets. Another is the entire doll attire inside of a small chest, where the bath messengers are located at. The last 2 items are a small hair ornament, which you can give it to the doll back at the workshop, and a 1/3 umbilical cord, which is used to gain insight, but also is the key to unlocking a secret towards the end of Bloodborne. Since the abandoned old workshop is hard to leave without dying, thankfully there is a lamppost for everyone to use to return to the hub world without falling down to the tower's bottom floor. During my livestream, I talk about a well-known Soulsborne YouTuber known as Zero Lenny, who has defeated Bloodborne with nothing but the torch. If anyone is interested to watch Zero Lenny, I'll leave a link to his YouTube account and his Bloodborne video in the description down below. In this upcoming scene, I will show what does happen when the hunter talks to the doll and officer the hair ornament I found at the old workshop.
What? What is this? I can't remember. Not a thing, only I feel. A yearning, something I never felt before. What's happening to me? Tell me, Hunter. Could this be joy?
After I obtained the tear stone from the doll, I go into the menu to use the stone to smash it into the teardrop blood gem, which can regenerate 2 health points every 4 seconds. I go to the workbench to equip it to my blunderbuss, yet I forgot that I needed to upgrade my shotgun by 1 level. So I used 3 bloodstone shards to level up the blunderbuss. Then I fortified my gun with a teardrop blood gem to get that sweet, sweet health regen. I returned to the tower's lower floor and gave an appraisal to the player's note that helped me to successfully reach to the abandoned old workshop. Then I proceeded further down to reach the bottom floor by following a path that might lead me there safely. I do try to grab the item that is on a wooden plank, but I mess up on landing onto the plank and miss the chance to get the item. On my next playthrough, I will return to the tower to grab the item on the wooden plank so that I don't stress myself of missing it. I continue my descent to reach towards the bottom and walk off a plank to drop onto a diagonal bridge, which I was close to missing my mark. I quickly healed myself and landed onto a pile of wooden boxes with little fall damage. Once I made it to the bottom floor, I began battling a werewolf, who can shoot fireballs in a stream of fire. I attack the werewolf with caution so that I won't be hit by his devastating blows. With some quick dodging and hacking away of its life, I deal 1 last heavy charge attack and defeated the werewolf. After the werewolf died, it rewards me with the Beast Rune, which increases my beast meter by 20 points. The beast. Beyond the door, where I killed the werewolf, I encountered a few enemies along with the brainsucker, who was guarding a fire blood gemstone, which I want to get to imbue it with my saw spear. I switch my blunderbuss to my flame sprayer to keep a good distance from the brain sucker, since he can take 2 insight points by grabbing me and sucking out my brain for a massive amount of damage. By equipping the Fire, Bolt, or Arcane Blood Gemstone into the Saw Spear, it changes the Saw Spear's physical damage into arcane damage, which is now scaled by the arcane stat, not by the skill or strength stat. After I obtain the Fire Blood Gemstone, I take the elevator to ascend from the alleyway to Cathedral Ward. I grab a cold blood from the corpse near the elevator, then I roll down to the ground, running to grab the lever to open up a gate leading to the cathedral. After opening the gate, I killed some pesky church servants and grabbed the wooden shield. Next, I climbed up the stairs to get the numbing mist, which will be useful later on with the second main boss, Fakir Amelia. After getting the numbing mist, I roll onto a rooftop to get another Bath Messenger hat accessory called the Black Messenger hat. As I was headed to the Cathedral Ward before my attempt to fight against the Snatcher, I first took care of another church servant, then killed a crow who was trying to be sneaky from behind, and finally proceeded to...
How about a little kiss on the jaw?
KO!
Believe it or not, by dying to the Snatcher during the second act of Bloodborne, the hunter is taken to Yargul Unseen Village, which is accessible in the final act of the game. At this moment, we're still in Act 2 and need to return to the workshop to continue playing the rest of Bloodborne. Before leaving Yargul, we encounter a friendly NPC named Adela, who is a sister of the Healing Church. As I am talking to Adela, she tells me that several other of her brothers and sisters of faith had been apprehended by the Snatchers, and she managed to hide herself after being kidnapped. Adela thanks me for finding her, and she offers 1 madman knowledge. Adela asks us if we know any safe places to take shelter, and I told her about Odin Chapel, and she thanks us once more of informing her about Odin Chapel, and does depart after we leave Yargul. Here's a tip. We're either Gascoigne's or Black Church attire set to be able to talk to Adela. Otherwise, she'll tell us to leave her alone, and she will not be rescued. Returning to Cathedral Ward, I explore around the area and grab several items, and opened up 2 gates to gain further access of my surroundings. The second gate I opened can be opened from the other side, with an item called Hunter Chief Album, which can be bought from the Bath Messengers for 10,000 blood echoes when arriving to Odin Chapel. I go to an alleyway where 2 NPCs known as Ariana and Mr. Skeptic are locked up in their homes during the hunt. Ariana is a prostitute who does not mind to help pleasure us after the hunt is done, and Mr. Skeptic is a harsh, rude man who does not trust us of leading him to safety. I go to Ariana's door and let her talk out her monologue, so that I would be able to send her to Odin Chapel. After talking to Ariana, I talk to Mr. Skeptic, and he goes on a rant about hunters and Ariana for being a prostitute. Now, before telling Mr. Skeptic where to go for shelter, here's a tip. If you send him to Odin Chapel, he will actually go to Yosefka's clinic, and vice versa. Going back to Yargul, I grab the first Snatcher's attention to fight me upstairs, and he uses an AoE attack to pull me closer to him. But it does not work since I am out of his range. I attack the Snatcher twice, then before the third hit, he becomes in range, which makes him attack ferociously. I continue to shoot him until I get the parry sound signal to land a visceral attack, and then I finish off the Snatcher with one small hit and grab 2 Bloodstone shards. I go downstairs to reach the other side, where a little madness is running away, and I slash him a couple hits and retrieve 3 twin Bloodstone shards. After killing the little madness, I attack the second Snatcher with a visceral attack, along with an additional hit to get him in range. Thankfully, when Snatchers become in range, they're easy to do a backstab attack, combined with a visceral attack, which can be an endless loop. After killing the second Snatcher, I got the Moon Rune, which can increase all enemies' XP points by 10%. After defeating the giant cat pig, I go down to the side of the church to find another little madness who can drop 3 twin Bloodstone shards. However, when I used a flame sprayer on it, the little madness crawled too close to the wall and fell right through it, and I could not get the Bloodstone shards. So, I went back to the Hunter stream to leave a lamppost, then came back to Yargle to reset the little madness and to kill it off. This time, I got the little madness into a corner and striked it occasionally to chip away its health. And finally, after killing it off, I grabbed the 3 twin Bloodstone shards. I continued my exploration around Yargle, killed off several wild dogs, another big pig, and 2 Snatchers to gain more XP, but also to pick up several items along the way. One weapon in particular is the Tonitrus, which is a mace that can conduct its own electricity and can output a lot of damage. Surprisingly in Bloodborne, the Tonitrus and the Boom Hammer are the 2 weapons to have physical and elemental damage. Tonitrus having bolt, aka electricity, and Boom Hammer having fire. Yet, the downside of the Tonitrus and the Boom Hammer is their durability stats being at 100 points instead of 200 points like the Saw Spear or the Saw Cleaver. In layman's terms, using the Tonitrus is limited, but the trade-off is again high output damage. Further down the Yargle Chapel, I get caught by an elderly woman, aka the Eye Collector, who grabs my head and uses her cleaver to gouge my eyes out for her eyeball collection. Thankfully, the Eye Collector did not end up killing me, so I ran off to heal up, then to acquire blood bullets for extra quicksilver bullets, and went to finish her off. I go back to see she was waiting close to the doorway, and I killed the Eye Collector. But I knew there was another Eye Collector waiting to ambush me, and I quickly strived backwards to avoid her grab and kill her. I tried to open the door to the left, but forgot that it opens from the outside and not from the inside of the basement. Before I fight the Dark Beast Parl, I summon an NPC hunter named Defector Antal to help me with this boss fight as a distraction. For this upcoming boss fight, I do not lock on to the boss because it moves sporadically, which makes it hard for the camera to stay on it. So my strategy is to hit the Dark Beast Parl's legs a few times, roll away, then rinse and repeat until it is defeated. Also, I mentioned on my live stream that from now on I would turn off my webcam during boss fights so that when I want to make another epic boss fight scene, my face will not kill the vibe for the video.
Welcome home, good hunter. What is it you desire? Very well. Let the echoes become your strength. Let me stand close. Now shut your eyes. Farewell, good hunter.
I went back to Yarkul to check the left side of the chapel, to see if there was a little madness I might have missed. But it turns out I was wrong. Knowing that there was no little madness around, I went back to the lamppost to get the little madness creatures at Cathedral Ward. When I teleported to Cathedral Ward, I did talk to Ariana and Mr. Skeptic to exhaust their dialogue, and I spoke to Elena to activate the Henrik mission. Running towards the Grand Cathedral, I go to the right side, because that is where two little madness creatures are located at, and both drop twin Bloodstone shards. I bypassed almost every enemy except for the snipers and the executioners. I killed both snipers with ease, then carefully took one executioner down before charging in to defeat the two little madness creatures. After defeating the second executioner, I get the other shards and some lead elixir before heading back to the hunter's dream. I go to the workbench to upgrade my saw spear to +6 and equip the fire blood gem to finally have a fire weapon without using fire vapor. Thank you all for watching this video all the way through, and I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like, dislike, comment, or subscribe to keep up with my videos. Until then, take care, and I hope to see you guys on the next video of Bloodborne Playthrough Part 4. Bye!